Good evening, guys. I just double checked that is on. It is on.
Well done,
So
well
we are
done.
all good. Auntie Liz isn't feeling too well today, are you?
I must have
Every
got-
single competition we go to.
Yeah, I got the London lurgy, guys. I don't know what happened. I woke up with a headache yesterday. Figured it was maybe dehydration from like the night before. Just busy day. But then it just got worse and worse.
So you might leave us at a certain point.
I might leave.
You're trying to.
I'm hanging in.
You're trying to hang in there.
Yeah, because I want to join this chat because I want to talk about the competition. It was a great weekend, wasn't it?
Brilliant competition. Brilliant venue.
Yeah.
Brilliant atmosphere. Crowd were incredible. Athletes were awesome. Records everywhere.
Records left, right, and centre. We will go into it in detail, but should we see who
it was an exciting weekend.
It was. And thank you for those who have made it over on a Monday. I appreciate it. Different parts of the world. This is not going to be a convenient time at all.
Yeah.
But as many of you will know, England made the finals of the Euros. I didn't even end up watching it. I was in bed.
Yeah, you heard me, didn't you?
I could hear you. Yeah. So we decided not to compete with the football this weekend. Nicholas, for the members' comment, props to Andy Flynn. A great first big Giants live showing. Absolutely.
I was very impressed with Andy. He really kind of, held his own.
He did,
and it was a big ask coming into a lineup like that, but he performed fantastically, really smashed his expectations, and saw him after. He was super happy, wasn't he?
He was on top of the world. And bear in mind, guys, he hasn't even done Britain's Strongest Man yet. So this really was a huge step up for Andy. And he really hung with
literally 8 weeks ago, he was competing in the England's qualifier.
Yeah.
Got to England's Strongest Man, came second at that. Qualified.
I mean, he was leading that until
he
the
was
Stones,
leading it.
He?
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean he's had a great couple of months, and amazing to see him do well at the Royal Albert Hall.
And on a similar vein here, comment from Joanne that Andy Parkis really was the cherry on top of this whole contest.
I liked it. Was it Andy and Neil?
Yes, and Neil was like, whoa. I didn't see any of that at the time, so I watched the stream back yesterday. I was really glad I did. The stream was great.
I've heard lots of good things, which is nice. It's nice. It was nice for me, Nicola, and Terry having one role.
Yes.
Like sometimes I'm pulled into different parts. Like they want me to do different things. It was nice going to a show, knowing exactly the role I've got to do, and just being able to focus on it. It was good fun.
Yeah, and I think you three, it's a nice dynamic there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we seem to gel pretty well. I really enjoy working with them both, so it's all good.
Hip flipping mama, Kelly's in the house. What a competition. Go Mitch. I'm so sad Evan had to withdraw, but I'm sure he wants to save himself for the strongest man on earth.
So unfortunately for Evan, he picked up a hamstring and groin injury. Was it groin or adductor?
Abductor, I think.
Yeah. On the axle, and I think it was just causing him a lot of pain. He was in agony backstage.
Yeah, he was really upset.
And he wanted to continue because he's just a warrior, but I think what we're hoping is it's a small injury that will clear up quite quickly. And if he tried to continue, he could have made it a big injury. So fingers crossed it is just a small muscle fiber tears or something like that. It's probably going to hurt for about a week or so and then should clear up pretty quickly. So fingers crossed for Evan, he recovers for that.
Yeah. Toby, hey guys, what a show that was. World records flying everywhere, Mitch doing Mitch things, Andy Flynn making a great debut, and all in all a great show.
Yeah, indeed,
it really was a good show. Even everyone, congratulations to Mitch, Tom, and Pavlo. What a show that looked to be. Can't wait until to see it at Christmas. And I was
you can go and watch it on Official Strongman.
Yes, and it really is worth the watch. It was a great show. Pavlo, bless him, after the Stones, don't want to spoil too much, but the Stones didn't go the way he had hoped.
Pretty sure everyone here is.
Yeah, well, yeah. Why are you here? Yeah. But I spoke to him after. He's like, I've messed it up. I'm off the podium now. So really happy to see he managed to hold on to that podium position.
Yeah, definitely.
He was great, wasn't he, Pavlo?
Pavlo was really good, and they were good events for it. Just the deadlift costs him. He only got 2 reps on the deadlift, but other than that, he was. Stones weren't great, but he was so good on the other 3 events.
Yeah, he had some really good events there. Yeah. Who knew Pa had a son? Pa's a family man, and I think a lot of people don't see that side, do they? Like, he's actually
it was
quite
nice.
private.
It was nice for him to bring the family. We haven't actually seen him bring his family to a competition before, so that was quite nice.
Yeah.
But Pa was having fun, but maybe just slightly off his best. I think, in terms of performance.
I think with these events, he would have wanted more.
Yeah, I thought he was capable of maybe the 185 axle and maybe a little bit more on the Conans.
On the Conans,
deadlift was solid. Stone, like he was solid.
His warm-ups on the axle up back look great.
He's very snappy. He's got
Very
great
snappy,
technique. I think he's one of those that almost makes it look easy.
Yeah.
And then it's
then
almost
it's
like a
all or nothing.
Rob Kearney type lifter.
Yeah. Yes. I'm training at the moment, so slow replies. Hope training is going well. I had to miss training today.
You did, didn't you?
I did, but for legitimate reasons, guys. Hey guys, how's it going? What an epic show. Dominator Moose breaking records. Standout debut by Andy. Kane second to Tom on stones.
Kane's stones are awesome. His stones at England's were really good.
Yes.
And he's backed it up with another really good performance on the heavier set as well. His stones have improved a lot.
I know how desperate he was to make the stone off at World's Strongest Man. He just missed out because he's quite convinced that he could beat almost anyone if it came to a stone off, and
he's starting to prove it, isn't
that up. Yeah, definitely. Pablo's Axel and Conan's Alexi back, all just so exciting. Only downer was Evan's injury. Yeah,
it's interesting talking to Alexi backstage because I said, when are we going to see you sort of back at your best? And he said he felt good in training, didn't he? He had a nightmare journey getting over 26 hours
in a car.
Yeah. So that's obviously not ideal. And I think his hips are tightened up a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can see he's not back to his best, no matter what he says.
He's a bit nervous about his bicep, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's such a great athlete. I think hopefully later on this year we see him back to his best. If not, maybe it'll be early next year. But he's still such a young man. He's 27.
Yeah, something like that. He's a very young man. He might be 28 now. Monica came. So happy to have met Nicola and Jane. Oh, how nice. I saw some pictures that they got together.
Yes, it was
very nice. And I read, I asked Monica actually, because I saw her in the hotel. I think it was the same evening. And what did you think? Because she's been to almost every type of competition now, except a Giants Live. And I think you said, Monica, that it was unlike any other show you'd been to in terms of, pizzazz. And that's what we always say, isn't it? It's it is a bit different.
It's a show, that's for sure.
Yeah. Andrew with a members comment, Mitch is at a different level. Right
now, he's insane. Like, I knew his training had been going crazy, but you never know until you're in the competition. And he just backed it up every event. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, with the events, I had an inkling it would be Mitch. I thought Evan had a chance, and I thought if Tom turns up in sort of world sort of shape, he's going to be hard to beat. But I think Tom was good. I think Tom just looked a little bit more human.
Yes,
than he did at Worlds. Yeah, where he was just ungodly.
I think what's great about Tom right now is he's consistently hitting podiums.
Yes,
whereas he was very up and down for a while. Now he's really solid. Every show he goes to, he's good. He is still at his best for Worlds.
Yes,
and that's the most important show to him. But he's turning up to every show in decent shape. And you watch the ease that he lifted the early axles.
Yeah, I know.
He's almost like a toy.
I know. Honestly, that man's shoulder mobility is
such a big man.
It's better than mine. I've never seen. He's almost like I've never seen anything like it. Someone so far through, and it's quite wild to see. Where are we? Let's go Spain, says Ronan.
That was yesterday. You're behind the times.
Lovely to meet you, Monica and daughter. Oh, have you seen Thor's squat that he posted?
380 for 3.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's looking strong.
Very excited for the strongest man on earth now. That's the next big competition, isn't it? Joe Oliver in the chat.
He came to the Giants this weekend.
Oh, awesome. Picked a great first Giants live to watch in person.
Indeed,
also, shout out Andy Flynn, earning the Flying Flynn nickname.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
Yeah.
He really was.
No, Barry. Evan plans to compete. As Loz said, it was a small injury, but he didn't want to risk making it worse. But it was quite a painful one for him, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. He needs to get it sorted ASAP if he wants to be the strongest man on earth and be in shape. But it was just not worth making it worse. No. That's for sure.
Will asking, can anyone beat 8 reps on the axle deadlift?
Yeah, I genuinely believe Mitch could have done 9 this weekend.
Well, he did 8 in like 30 seconds, didn't he? So with that extra rest time.
Yeah. I think other guys
Squeeze
can
one
as
out.
well. I think one thing with Mitch, his conditioning is so good. I think some of the athletes like Matt Ragg, who's an amazing deadlifter, and he's done 8 reps on that axle before. After the axle, I think he was just a bit fatigued, and he's had a long trip as well. Let's remember he's come over from Australia, so
New Zealand.
So that's a long trip
it's such a
over,
long
over
slog,
a short period of time. So that's going to impact him a little bit. But yeah, I can see 9 reps going on that axle.
Yeah,
Which is insane because, you know, if you watch the live stream, you hear me and Terry going on about how hard it is. It really is a brutal deadlift.
Dalton Mason, exactly 1 month until we fly out for Strongest Man on Earth. My goodness, is it coming around that quickly?
Yeah, we've got a busy few weeks coming up.
Yeah, I'm not ready at all. Yeah, Evan did do an update saying it's nothing too serious and he'll be good for his next competition. Bo with the members comment, any info on Bibby not showing up or Gav's performance?
So Bibby, unfortunately, his mum is ill.
Yes,
And
he's nursing a sick family member.
So he wanted to stay with her. Gav, I think he's struggling a little bit at the moment with a few things, and I think he could do with some time off just to recompose himself and get the fire back. Definitely,
Yeah.
You could tell watching him he was not himself.
He looked a bit defeated, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hopefully he's okay.
You know, the end of last year and Britain's this year, he looked
He was
phenomenal.
insane,
He
yes.
was looking like he's knocking on the door of being a legitimate sort of top 10 athlete, and he just needs to get, you know, whatever it is sorted going on and get back to that, find that hunger again. I think he could actually do with a little bit of time away from comps and just get that love for the sport, get whatever it needs to be done, you know, that's going on personally sorted, because it's hard. I've been in that situation where things are happening and you're not focused. And it just looks like something's holding him back right now. And everyone loves Gav and you want to see him do well. But it's hard to watch someone when you can see they're not themselves.
Yeah,
isn't it?
of course. Evan, yes, we've answered that. How come Mitch's record counted for the show's points? Because they were all allowed multiple attempts.
They were allowed 2 attempts
from
the floor. And that's what Mitch, some people said he had 3 attempts. He didn't. He attempted his first jerk and missed it, but he didn't put it down to the floor. Went again, didn't get it. And then the referees allow an extra attempt. Pavlo did exactly the same thing.
Andy Flynn on the
I will say the rules weren't very clear, certainly not to people watching. The problem, and I've said this so many times, is Strongman needs a rule book, so we all understand what's going on. We were at the rules meeting the night before, so we saw exactly what was said. And the rule was there was no time limit. You will go on the referee's command. And they actually spoke about what happens when it gets to world record level. And Magnus was like, if I think you're capable, I will allow you another attempt. And that's what happened. So Mitch did nothing wrong. He listens in rules meetings. I agree that kind of, you know, we need a proper system so everyone understands. And however it's put together, it needs to be clear for everyone watching.
Yeah.
Because it is confusing when one competition allows one thing.
It's confusing when it's different in different comps. Yeah. But like, if you look at it from this perspective, though, because I've had conversations with Colin about this before. Colin is so almost paranoid about people getting hurt at his competitions. He's so risk averse and he's always looking at ways he can get the best out of the athletes and keep them as safe as possible as well, which is why they took away the sort of typically 60-second time limit, because he doesn't want people rushing, you know, and something as technical as the axle. We saw it with Andy Flynn. We saw it with Mitch. Bar's not quite in the right line. I mean, Pavlo actually was probably the most impressive to me, because the first attempt he got really lightheaded and dizzy, and he still got it on the second attempt. So allowing the athletes that extra little bit of time, we got to see the best of them and then perform to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, we did. But like I said, I think it is important that we do have that clarity from the start. However, it's important to understand that the athletes abided by the rules of the competition. So, you know, whatever people think, they went on what was told to them.
Yeah. I saw a comment on Reddit which made me laugh. It says Mitch Hooper's best event is reading the rule book to the max.
He does. He's one of the few guys that actually listens in a rules meeting. I've seen athletes, pro athletes, on their phones not paying any attention. two of the most vocal guys you ever would see at a rules meeting were myself and Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
But Mitch is exactly the same. He's kind of always focused on.
Always checks in with them. I saw before they started as well, because another thing that they were told about the clean coat, so belt cleans are a bit of a bone of contention in strongman. They were told, if it hits your belt, it's fine.
As long as you don't clean it from the belt.
Yes. So there must be an extra contact point between.
I think the belt clean is a bit of a weird one.
I think
it's allowed at the lighter level of the sport. It's not a big deal.
Bloody belt clean. Yeah.
It's kind of funny. They've got such strict rules about some things.
Yeah. And not about others. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. There we go. Where are we? Giants live stream is greatly improved, much better quality. Just need an app or something to stream on large TVs. I think you can. Like when you go to log into Official Strongman, there's a login on your TV option. I've never clicked it, if I'm honest, but maybe someone who has can give us some insight onto how that works. A guy yelling "Sexy Alexi" was the cherry for me. Oh dear.
Yeah, someone asking if we've seen Hafthor's 380 for 3 squat. That was very impressive. He's looking seriously strong. I watched his food video the other day, which I was almost going to do a video on, because I've actually had a few clients that watch these food videos of some pros, and quite honestly, some of them exaggerate what they eat as well. Yeah. And, you know, I've had a guy that thinks he should be eating 15,000 calories a day. And I was like, whoa, you eat 15,000 calories a day, you're going to have a heart attack real soon. So, yeah, it's not good to kind of copy what some of the top guys say, especially when you're starting out, but you certainly don't need to eat that much. However, Hafthor probably on a daily basis is eating about 8,000 to 9,000 calories. He said on the video he's having 12,000, but that was 3 pizzas chucked in as well. Yeah. But he's a huge human being, and he's worked up to that kind of amount of food over time. It's kind of like a deadlift. You don't just deadlift 500 kilos.
No, exactly. Yeah, it takes a long time to build that. I'll go get her something. Jamie, thank you so much for the super chat. It was an awesome show.
Jamie came, didn't he? Yep.
Yes, I'm hoarse from all the shouting. Just miss you guys as you walk past us as we were in the queue for Tom. Only bad thing I found was we got turned away from Eddie and Tristan.
Oh, that's a shame. I guess it was a time issue, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
I know how strict the Royal Albert Hall is on time, so if it was closing up, they would have been pretty strict.
Yeah,
so shame you didn't get to see them, but
kicked out on the dot, don't they?
Yeah, it's one of the strictest venues, I guess.
Yeah,
arena,
me, you, and Darren couldn't even get back in at one point because we didn't have hard hats on. We just needed to get to the backstage area. Deary me.
Great to see handsome Pablo on the podium. Yes. Indeed, it was.
Yes. Pablo must have been so exhausted after the number of attempts he made on the axle as well. Yeah. Pablo's a machine, though. My first Giants live, Pab was incredible. What a fighter, says another Laurence. Oh. Look, I've laid out this spread. I feel I should address it.
You need to.
Yeah, and because I promised her I'd do this. So a lovely, do you know what? One thing that really struck me about the Royal Albert Hall, and I've said this before, is the amount of people that travel from different countries, from all over the world to come and watch. So like not last night, the night before, met people from Malta, from Germany, and from Singapore. And this lovely lady, Claudia from Singapore, bought us a bag of goodies. And there's all sorts in here, guys. So we've got coffee. I don't know what this is, but she's written a really lovely note as well, like explaining what everything is. We've got some chocolate. How nice. And like, I haven't even got it all out. There's loads and loads of stuff.
So you've got the noodles.
Yeah, I think these are the heat patches she talked about.
Okay.
But there are yeah, exactly. There are noodles, there are sauces.
It's really nice. Really
so kind. And the reason I'm showing you guys this is because I really want to encourage this type of behavior. Because I love nothing more than a snack. And you know what, Lozzie? I even got out. Would you like to try some Singapore chocolate? One square.
Oh, nice.
There we go. To do a little review. Don't eat into the mic though. Cheers.
Cheers.
There you go. Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you very much,
not
Claudia.
For you. No chocolate for doggies. Sorry. The papas is here. It's getting weird.
Not bad. Not bad. I've been very spoiled with chocolate.
Wait for the aftertaste. I think it's really nice.
It is nice.
Really nice. It's creamy. It's good. So there you go. Thank you so much, Claudia.
And Claudia and her husband were lovely, actually.
Yeah, they were. We met them afterwards.
They're having a 2-week kind of trip over in the UK.
Yes,
so
they are.
They said they'll watch this when they get back.
Oh, okay. I'm glad we did it, though. Did you have time to watch Spain versus England?
I watched it. Liz went to bed.
Yeah, I did.
But yes, I watched it.
Right, actually,
I thought England did really well. Like, they're getting a lot of crap from people, but Spain were by far the team of the competition. They were the best team. They deserved to win. England did well.
Did well to get to the final.
Yeah, you know, I think best team won.
Yeah. Where are we? People saying that they're training while watching. Ali, it was their first strongman show too. Was so much fun. What a great first competition to go to.
Yeah.
I think that to me it's a really special one because it was the first arena show after COVID.
Yeah.
And obviously it was your last arena.
My last one, yes.
Yeah. So holds a special place.
I am very lucky that I got to compete there because it is just a cool venue.
Yeah. Kevin, you're in luck, Liz. I've signed up for a charity truck run driving with disabled kids the day before your comp, so probably can't come over the pond to live stream you smash in your comp. Well, that sounds like a much more worthy cause, Kevin. So
definitely a better cause.
You should definitely go to that instead, but I hope it goes well. Oh.
Someone had a great view of the back of my head.
Oh dear. Sorry about that, Ali. Nothing spoiled, Auntie Liz. Please enjoyed the behind the scenes vid. Thanks. Oh, and you'll all be pleased to hear.
Camera's all sorted.
I've got my new camera up and running now. I think I made a mistake sharing a picture in my stories because I got so much advice from all over the world. But I did have Youssef and Zoe. I had camera people take it apart and clean it and check it for me. And it'd been on the fritz for a little while, hadn't it?
Yeah,
and
you'd had a few issues with it.
I'd bought a new camera and I just didn't bring it. So it was my own silly fault. But little iPhone video for the weekend. It's fine.
You'll have it working for this weekend.
Yes, it'll be. Yes, because we're going to Estonia, but we'll get to that in a second. Pablo is a real warrior, made a statement making the final at Worlds this year with not great events. Another great performance this weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pablo's a great strongman and he's got certain events he's just unbelievable at.
Yeah.
So he's such a dangerous athlete when he has the right events. I think when there's always a deadlift in there, it's difficult for him, but
it has been.
Yeah, very much so. It's a big weakness. If he can sort that out, he's a legitimate contender for many titles, but he's managed to win Europe's strongest man. He's a fantastic strongman, real athlete as well. I wonder where Evan would have placed if he had not injured himself. He had some good events at the comp. Yeah, he's a great athlete and he won that competition last year. So it's it's always sucks when you get an injury, but he'll move on and focus on the next competition. Pablo blacking out on the 185 and getting it anyway and still getting 195 as well is, that was impressive. It's one of those events as well, like you can go lightheaded with.
Yeah, so much weight bearing down on your chest.
He's a very technical lifter as well, so needs to hit it perfectly.
Sorry, she's got a cheese puff now. Very loud.
Hey, Loz, do you know of any strongman gyms near Oxford? I'm at uni and can't find anywhere local. Alex Lungu, if you're still in the chat, can you help Lewis out, please? Alex is in the Oxford area, so he'll be able to help you. I also think I can hear her crunching on that.
Yes, she's her mouth open. Very rude.
Paddy's not too far from that.
Yeah,
kind of
he's what's just north of Oxford? Bicester? Is he Bicester?
I'm not sure if he's Bicester, but he's kind of that kind of area. But if Alex Lungu is in the chat, we will find some good places.
Jamie, thank you for the super chat. See Evan at meet and greet, and he told me and my partner he was on good drugs direct from hospital.
Sounds about right.
He looked so sad in the room because he so badly wanted to compete.
He wants to all the time.
Yeah,
he just lives for it, doesn't he?
I snuck him a load of food because I said, "Oh, are you hungry, Evan?" He was like, "Oh, I could kill a chocolate bar or something." So
you got him some snacks.
I got him some bits and bobs. Hopefully, Thor can finish top half impressing events at Strongest Man on Earth.
Be interesting to see. I think his pressing's starting to get stronger.
It'd be interesting to see the progression now between since the Arnold's leading up to this.
Also, he's
his pressing is back with these events. He's going to be hard to beat.
Man.
Yeah. Loz and Liz, haven't caught a stream in a few weeks. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining us, Zach, on a Monday, no less. My wife said, thanks for signing the mug. Oh, yes. And she's just run out to fill it with wine. Amazing weekend as always. Yes, you can get your Liz and Loz mugs from www.laurenshahlaei.co.uk.
Indeed.
Fill it with tea, coffee, wine, whatever you like. Great show. Congrats, Mitch. And love to Loz and Liz behind the scenes. Thank you,
Thank you, Pam.
I was very worried about my behind the scenes this weekend.
You did a good job, Lizzie.
Thanks. Tried to talk to the new guys. Tristan's really nice, as we thought he probably would be. Yeah, he did really well
good.
as well.
Yeah, very good athlete.
Yeah.
Loz, why is one axle setup so much more difficult than another? Are there height differences? They're the same weight. No. Normally, the issue with the axle is if it's a fixed axle or not. So what I mean by that is one where the ends rotate with the bar. So unlike an Olympic lifting bar, which will spin on its own, the fixed axle kind of is much, much harder to clean for a lot of people. And that can cause a lot of issues because you've got these big wheels that kind of throw themselves back into you, and it kind of can really knock you for six and wind you and just kind of throw your balance off a little bit.
They're not talking about the axle deadlift, though, are they? With a different setup?
Oh, they might be. Yeah, the deadlift, I guess, is a similar issue. I think
the wheels are heavier.
The wheels are heavier.
Yeah.
It's not that they're heavier. The globes are hollow, and I think it's actually slightly higher.
Okay.
Whereas these are just a slightly lower deficit, only by a small amount, but it just seems to make a big difference.
And look at this. Connolly family are going to their first arm wrestling event ever, East versus West 14 in Orlando.
I wish I was going there.
It's supposed to be a good roster, isn't it?
Yeah, some good matches that are up. Michael Todd is going against Kamil Jablonski, which should be good.
I know Michael.
You do know Michael.
I don't know many, but I know Michael.
There's Leonardis Arcona, who's like new to arm wrestling, is going against John Brzenk, who's like the GOAT, but he's in his 60s now.
Yeah. No, I know John Brzenk.
Who he used to be. Yeah. But yeah, there's some good matches. Tom Hollands is going as well. He's going to have his debut for East versus West.
Oh, awesome.
But this is their first event in America.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's usually in Istanbul, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chris, is the reason Matt Ragg keeps the axle so high off his chest in the rack position a mobility issue?
Very much so. Yeah. He doesn't have the mobility of, say, Mitch or Pavlo or Parr.
It's not uncommon in strongman, is it?
To be honest, most of the bigger, more muscular guys are the same. They kind of end up having it sort of there, and there's a big gap.
Floating.
It's a weakness, really. If you can get it on your clavicle, it's going to be much better because you'll generate more power through your body. However, if you can't do that, then what you have to do is kind of squeeze your bicep and forearm into each other to try and get some stability. But it's better if you can rest on the clavicle.
Yeah. Chase asking, do you guys know if for the manhood stones at Strongest Man on Earth, will they be able to add reps with a lighter stone like the deadlifts at Britain's?
Yes. Well,
any amount of
you can do reps on a stone, but one rep on a heavier stone will beat any amount on a lighter one. So you may get some guys that will come out, try the lighter stone, move up, try a heavier stone. If they can't get the heavier stone, they might drop back and do the lighter stone for reps. Some athletes might decide, I'm just going to focus on that one stone and do the reps that I can. Some people might be bold and go for a real heavy one, miss it, lose all their energy and completely fail. So there's going to be tactics that come into that as well as strength.
And it is going to be timed as well, split times on every single lift, so there aren't going to be any ties.
Yeah.
There you go. Joe's telling someone off. Where are we? Angus with a member's comment. Tom got rushed into the 205. WC got special treatment. What's WC? WC, that's a toilet.
Elaborate, please, Angus.
What's WC? So Tom got rushed into the 205. So I think it's because when they go for a new weight, if you're the only one going for it, it's like, well, we're moving to this weight now.
Yeah.
Whereas if he
do you know the funny thing is, I've seen comment stuff. Tom hasn't complained about anything.
The athletes never do.
Tom's great. Tom just is, you know, it's so funny
know.
how people watching complain, but the athletes aren't complaining about anything.
No.
Because they were all in the rules meeting and
exactly.
understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I do understand if you weren't in the rules meeting, then it's hard, but none of the athletes were complaining.
I've seen a lot of comments recently about like banning split jerks and stuff. I don't know a single athlete who strict presses who's ever called for a split jerk to be banned. There's no appetite amongst promoters to ban it. It's been allowed since the inception of the sport. I really don't get it.
There was 3 athletes that were jerking on the weekend.
Yeah. Pablo, Pa, Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alexi sometimes jerks. Yeah. Martins, Rob Kearney, Raymond McManus, Mikhail Kuklayev. Seen Jean-Paul Sigmarsson do it. Who else?
There's lots.
Loads. Yeah. Where are we?
First ever winner of World's Strongest Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Nothing more impressive than watching someone strict press a massive weight. But the goal is win.
Sean Murphy, this is a great question, Sean. Could Giants show the rules meeting just on YouTube?
Do you know what? We wanted to stream the rules meeting before, but they don't allow us to, do they?
But the reason why they don't is because they want people to be able to freely ask questions without the concern of prying eyes. Do you know what I mean? It needs to be a private place. But what I think you and I could do after, because we already
explain the rules
before the competition, like take some notes, explain it that way.
We did that in the past and we've stopped doing it. We should do it.
We're going to go back to doing that, guys. So if anything pops up,
because even like allowing people to know what jumps are going to be made, things like that.
It's helpful information to know.
Yeah. So if you guys want us to do that, we can do in the future.
Yeah, but yeah, the reason, and that's not uncommon, to be honest. I know at like Rogan, Arnold's and stuff, it's the same story. No cameras in the rules meeting.
It's a private area, and they want people to be able to freely ask things. And I understand.
Without feeling stupid about asking or being put off by cameras and stuff. Where are we? He started talking about his rule book again. Where are we? Gareth with the members comment. Great effort from Andy Flynn, mid-table on his first Giants Live.
In a stacked lineup as well. You know, was he 6th or 7th? 6th.
I think he was 7th. I think Alexi was 6th.
Alexi was 6th.
Yeah.
So you think of the 6 athletes ahead of him.
Yes. Alexi,
all World's Strongest Man finalists.
Matt Ragg, Tristan Hoth, Pablo, Tom, Mitch. Who else? Am I missing someone? No, that's it.
All World's Strongest Man finalists. Yeah. 3 World's Strongest Man winners. A Europe's Strongest Man. Yeah. Top 5 guys at Worlds. And he was the top Brit out of everyone.
Yeah.
Other than Tom, obviously.
Yes, yeah. Where are we? There's some sort of argument going on in the chat.
Do you think this changes predictions for Shaw Classic? Have we done any predictions for Shaw Classic?
We haven't. No, we're still waiting.
I do feel, looking at this at the moment, Mitch and Thor are probably the favourites. I think Tom looked solid, but I think right now, I think Thor and Mitch would be my top 2.
I guess it depends what happens between now and then with Tom's training as well. We mentioned this in a video, I think last week. It's hard being the world's strongest man and to actually fit in all your training and all of the obligations and, taking full advantage of having that title. So I guess a lot of it depends on Tom, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tom's an amazing athlete and there's some very good events for him in that contest.
Yeah. Will all of the athletes now consider the split jerk?
No. Lots of athletes can't split jerk. No. You know, I see comments saying, "Oh, split jerking's easier." Ask Zadrunas to split jerk. He wouldn't be able to. Eddie Hall wouldn't be able to. Like, not effectively. To split. And Mitch Hooper can't split jerk effectively. Not like an Olympic lifter. He jerks and then presses the lockout. To be quite honest, the best out of the guys competing on the weekend is Pavlo.
Yes.
Technically. Yeah. His technique is better than any of the others. But Mitch utilizes his extremely strong leg drive. He's so powerful in his legs. He's actually improved his strict pressing a lot. There's videos of him leading up to this strict pressing PBs. He's always improving every area. And on the axle, his technique is the most effective for him. He does a different technique on log. It's more of a push press when he does the log. A push press leg back, kind of bench press.
Incline.
Yeah. But it's finding the most effective way for you as an athlete. And for some athletes, it will be a jerk type technique. But there are athletes out there that strict press. Iron Bibby pretty much strict presses these kind of weights. It's a tiny little bit of leg drive. Eddie and Zadrunas had a bit more leg drive, but still not a huge amount.
No, just a small bounce, wasn't it?
Other athletes really I was quite an explosive push presser. It was kind of lots of leg drive, and then the triceps would kind of press out. I didn't have the mobility, to be honest, to do Olympic lifting effectively.
People do what works best for them. But like we said earlier, will they now consider it? It's always been allowed in strongman, so this is nothing new.
I will say the jerk is more effective on an axle than a log, for instance. There are people that can do it on a log, but a log has a much, much greater chance of coming out of line easier, and you tend to find the best log pressers are the ones that have the stronger shoulders and triceps. Yeah,
there are some exceptions, like Ines Carrasquillo is very good at jerking a log, isn't she?
Yeah, but it's when you watch someone jerk, they either get it or they don't.
Yeah,
it's not like
they're not grinding.
It's actually usually much higher risk because you don't have that safety of a push press where you can kind of muscle it up a little bit.
To be fair, Mitch did muscle it up right at the end of that lift.
What I'm saying with Mitch is he doesn't have effective jerk technique. No. He use that leg drive to get it as high as he can, and then it's tricep strength to lock out.
Yeah. Anyway,
what Mitch does very well is clean the axle, which allows him to save more energy for the overhead.
Yeah. Once it got to about 11, they announced photos only. Yeah. Liz is going from insulting the viewers to demanding food from them. I only insult the elderly. Hold on, where's my list? Hello, dog. Are we that far behind on comments? My goodness.
I think we might be.
Right, okay.
Jamie.
I'd be careful with that, Liz. People send way too much. I guess you could do giveaways.
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, thank you for the super chat. Was time issue? Think they need to sort something? If so, people get the full experience of what they've paid for.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we just need to usher people through quicker.
You do find some athletes will stay chatting to people for ages as well.
Yeah, they will. And some queues are definitely much slower than others, as anyone who's been at one of these meet and greets will know. Yeah, I think we need a strict, right, you got 10 seconds, mate. Because the athletes are usually far too nice to move people along, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where are we? Liz getting care packages at every show is now her dream scenario. 100% Martha. Like, what more could I want in my life? I'd say life was pretty much perfect. Hedgehog, thank you very much for gifting a membership. Are we going to get a Rauno video? Yes. So we
multiple Rauno.
Many Rauno videos. So we're flying to Estonia on Thursday. While we're there, we've got quite a lot going on. We're going to, Rauno's going to be training. He's going to put me through a training session for my competition, which is going to be absolutely horrific. And there's Strongman Champions League Estonia going on while we're out there. So
good lineup for that as well.
Yeah, some really good names. Ivers is doing it. Evans, Nana. Who else? Kane Francis is going to be there. Lots of Strongman Champions League regulars. So
is Kane doing it, is he?
Yeah, he's doing it. Yeah, I asked him this weekend. So lots and lots going on, and lots of videos to come out of the weekend. Where are we? Pablo will be a demon when his deadlift catches up, and then seeing the fat slob star strongmen. How rude, Joe. Some of us like them fat. Paris with the members comment. We need car walk at Birmingham Giants Live. Mitch to get a world record.
He'd be very good on that.
Does Matej still have the world record?
I think he does, yeah.
I think he does too, yeah. Which he took from you.
He did.
In 2019.
Yes.
Yes. There you go. Are tickets for the Royal Albert Hall on sale for next year?
They are.
Yes.
They went on sale right after the show, didn't they?
Yes, and these are usually it's the first one to sell out.
It's actually the smallest venue for the major
seats,
shows in terms of seats. So yeah, if you want to get into the Royal Albert Hall, I'd get your tickets fast. It is always an amazing show.
Oh, it is, yeah. Sarah, thank you for the super chat. I had a fabulous time at the show. Had a couple of nice long chats with Neil Pickup, who was genuinely so lovely.
Neil is lovely. And what about his shoes and his jacket this time around?
All that's missing now. So for Vegas, we need trousers as well. Glitter trousers. And then he'll have gone full. I don't know what that look is called. Yeah. But Neil is lovely. He's got time for everyone, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Hello to the best strongman coach, says Boosted Chicken.
Thank you.
We loved seeing the athletes live at the Royal Albert Hall. We truly enjoyed it again. Finally, we got to see Tom doing the Stones, but Kane Francis was a very good second on that event.
Kane was awesome.
Yeah, Kane was great. Big for him to be able to beat guys like Matt Ragg, who's very good at Stones, and just some of those top names in the sport.
Yeah.
Don't. Blimey, that pooch has grown. She's not been nicking, I'm guessing Loz's super creatine by any chance. Don't know. But she's a big girl. There was a boy golden retriever she met earlier who was trying to get very friendly. Yeah, flirting. Carlos, thank you for the super chat. Great show again. Question: who will end up with more World's Strongest Man titles between Stockman and Hooper? And do you believe Hathor will break his 501 record?
I don't think Hathor will break the 501 at the Shore Classic because that's going to be Raw, and I think his focus will be the whole competition. Potentially, I could see him breaking the deadlift record at another event if he gets the opportunity.
Yeah. In terms of your other question, obviously Tom has a big head start over Mitch, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's 2 ahead.
I think Tom probably has more World's Strongest Man titles in him. I think Mitch will win more overall titles. I don't know if Mitch would... I don't know how long Mitch will go on for.
No.
And he's only got 1 so far. Tom has 3. I can see Mitch certainly getting another.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know how long Mitch will do the sport for. No. So it's hard to say. And, just to get 2 in a row is hard. There's so many good athletes and always new athletes coming through. Yeah. So it's just however hungry he is. One thing that was great, he got beat by Tom at this year's Worlds, and I've never seen a man so motivated to not let it happen again. Yeah. I mean, he's training like a madman, and the performance this weekend shows what kind of shape he's in. But they're both incredible athletes.
Zach, thank you for the super chat. I've lost 105 pounds
since March. Did you see that sticker?
We haven't got to it yet, that's it.
Okay.
I've lost 105 pounds since March. Thanks for all the inspiration. I'm 6'5".
That is amazing.
And 343 pounds now. Thinking about training for a comp. Got more weight to lose first. Wow, well done, Zach.
Absolutely fantastic.
Since March, you've lost like a whole little person.
I lost 100 pounds, and it took me like 2 years.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done. Look forward to hearing about your competition if you do choose to do it. Oxford, don't know the gyms, can't help you there. Live in the garage gym life, says Toby. Yes, Ricky, very, very generous for the super sticker.
Thank you so much,
We
Ricky.
don't even get to enjoy the sticker. We get the word super sticker. But thank you so much,
Hopefully
Ricky. That's really,
other
really
people
kind of
got
you.
to enjoy it.
Yeah. Very nice sticker though, Ricky.
There you go. I get to see it.
Oh, look, you're amazing.
Thank you very much.
You're amazing, Ricky. Thank you. Yeah, so Malcolm was talking about the axle deadlift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And how one setup always seems to get more.
So always confusing when there's 2 axles in the comp.
Yes, it is. Yes. So when Liz wins a comp, we peer pressure her into competing at OSJ. Neither of those things are going to happen, Marcel. Like, I've said this before, but I signed up to this competition in the hope that it would motivate me to get into the gym. That did not happen. It wasn't until, and I'm not going to name names because it's a surprise for someone. It wasn't until a couple of weeks ago when someone who I respect massively said that they booked a hotel so they could come and watch me compete that I thought, shit, I actually can't pull out of this competition like I was planning to. I'm going to have to train for it. So I've left myself under 10 weeks to go from woman who doesn't lift to competing in competition. I'm not going to win it. If I could not zero anything, as members will know, I put out a proper training video this week.
If you remember, you can check out Liz's training video from last week.
Yes, is where I did yoke for the very first time and working on my deadlifts. I'm partly training just to go to Estonia, so Rauner doesn't rip me a new one about deadlifts.
Rauner's a very harsh coach.
I'm so ready to fight him. Just even thinking about it gets me all worked up. I'm like, oh, come on then, Rauner.
It works me up a little bit because he's like criticizing your deadlift so much. And it's your second deadlift session.
I know.
And the thing is, as a coach, and this is, I'm going to put this out there because
Rauno, listen up.
So many people are scared to lift because of people judging the way you lift real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand, when you're a beginner, no one expects you to be perfect. Go and watch Thor deadlifting 300 kilos from years ago. Bloody terrible. But you improve and you try and improve it and you get better. And it's important that you do. You know, you always want to work on improving technique, but don't be scared to lift. It's, you know, if you're new to tennis, you're not going to serve like Djokovic or something like that.
No.
You know, you've got to develop the skill. And some coaches just go overboard with like drilling
perfection.
Technique. Yeah, and it takes the fun out of it. You just got to allow someone little tips each session, try and improve it, and you have been. Every session is getting better.
Yeah.
But if we just sent, the other thing is we've got a time frame for this competition. We can't spend too long just focusing on perfect technique.
No.
And there are amazing lifters out there with perfect technique, but they can't lift anything.
That would end up being me.
Sometimes you've got to push on and try and get stronger. So
40 kilo deadlift for rep.
it's a combination of both. You know, you're always looking to improve technique, but you've got to work hard as well.
Yeah, Rauno holds his friends to impossibly high standards.
I wonder if his second deadlift session was perfect.
It obviously wasn't. Oh, it probably was.
We can always do farmers with him.
Yeah, let's find a grip event that I can beat him on.
You might struggle, but
okay,
I'll beat him.
That'll do. Bounty. At least complaining fans means they're passionate, even if they're idiots. We won't go that far.
Passion is good. Passion is always good.
It comes from a place of care.
I think sometimes people are just very inexperienced in the sport, but doesn't mean they don't care and don't want to be better.
Yeah. Levi, we received some lovely t-shirts for the gathering this weekend. Thank you very much. Yes, very excited for that. That's just in a couple of weeks, isn't it? Dear me. Dalton. Yes, thank you for the super chat, Dalton. Loz, with the axle deadlift using straps, what makes it that much harder? Straps eliminate the grip and lack of rotation. Is it just bar flex?
Yeah, basically the axle. I mean, if you wanted to test grip, a double overhand axle is a great test of grip strength. However, the axles that they use in strongman competition, they're not really trying to test the athlete's grip. The reason they're so hard is there is zero flex in the bar. If you watch a lot of deadlifts on a normal bar, there's a huge amount of flex. So you do not get the whole weight straight away in your hands. You get a gradual increase of the weight. Also, the bar is thinner, so the bar is closer to you. So you think about the thickness of the axle. The bar is set lower. It's set further out in front of you. And there is zero flex. So it's just a much more heavy initial start to the pull. You need tremendous leg drive to get the weight off the floor. You can't get that kind of gradual height that you can generate on like a Hummer tire deadlift or you see some of these really long whippy bars. You can get it halfway up if you pull. The axle, it's just straight into your hands right from the start. And if they didn't have the straps, they just wouldn't be able to lift those kind of weights.
So just looking in on comments, people talking about in strongman, it's sort of getting the weight from A to B. I can answer this question. That makes me wonder why no sumo deadlifts. Because point B in a sumo deadlift, the finish lift, isn't the same position as a conventional deadlift, is it?
No, it's I mean, if you watch some of the top,
the dog farted.
If you watch some of the top sumo lifters in the world, the bar is like that far. Well, the weights are like that far off the ground.
Yeah. So the lockout position for a sumo deadlift isn't the same. If someone push presses, split jerks,
this is not
strict presses,
look,
it's
honestly,
the same at the end of it.
I mean, you could argue it like it's A to B. You could,
but B is different for a sumo than it is for a conventional.
Sure, like there's always going to be arguments for and against both. I mean, you know, Thor pressing overhead is going to be different to Hicksy pressing overhead,
course,
just due to leverage. But yeah, the sumo deadlift, I would have no problem with a sumo if it was just everyone lifting sumo or everyone lifting conventional. But I mean, you can say the same about everyone doing a strict press or a push press or a jerk. It's, you know, the argument's always there. It's just these are the rules for strongman, and it's how it is. But sumo, I don't believe should be in strongman.
Problem with sumo as well, like we have a lot of elevated deadlifts in sumo. It's not always standard height. Maybe you're locked out and the weight's actually not off the floor. I mean,
well, if you went sumo on like a Hummer-Thai deadlift, yeah, you could.
Yeah. A quick post rules meeting. Yeah. So people saying it'd be really good if we could clarify rules after.
We'll do that.
We will do that. Yeah, definitely. Lots of people.
It's actually very few athletes of mine that I advise to do jerks.
Yeah.
There are a couple. You've got to look at the athlete and where their strengths are. But for most people, I would teach to push press. It's much safer. It has better crossover to all types of overhead events. So like doing, because you can't jerk a Viking press, for instance.
No.
They don't allow that.
Which is a shame because that's the overhead. Not that I've ever jerked anything. What am I saying?
You're naturally better at push pressing anyway.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
How do we know? I've never jerked.
Trust me.
Okay.
The jerk's a very technical lift.
I'm not a technical person.
It takes time to learn to do effectively.
I'm just a brute.
You're not. You're definitely not a brute. You're just very, very... It's funny because Liz is so experienced in strongman, but so new to lifting.
It's quite unique,
and then I think because you know so much and you've heard so much from different people, you almost confuse yourself.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. But also, like, because Loz often coaches over voice note, so he'll leave people voice notes all the time. And I don't think I'm really computing the fact that he's giving different advice to people on the same lift based on their strengths and weaknesses and like leverages and stuff like that. So I've sort of taken all of this knowledge in and I'm like a jumbled wreck. I get to the bar and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? So I confused myself. And this made me laugh. Rob, I held up every single cue and I regret nothing. That's the spirit, Rob.
I don't blame you. Mate. I don't blame you.
That's funny. Have they announced the location for the next World's Strongest Man? And do you still anticipate another trip to Myrtle Beach due to contracts? They're due, I believe, one more in Myrtle Beach and one more in Sacramento. So,
really?
Yeah, technically it could be either those. Yeah. Look who's here in the chat. Paddy Haynes. Nice to see you, Paddy.
How you doing, buddy?
Hope you're doing well.
Paddy, how far is your gym from Oxford?
I think Andre Foytu's in here as well. Yeah, there he is. Hey, Andre. Looking forward to seeing him and competition. He's looking strong in his log pressing. Yeah. What do you do out of the rack? 220, 210, 210, I think it was out of the rack. Either today, yesterday, something like that. But he's very strong. He's only like 12. He's 22. Maybe 23 now. Where are we? How much of a podium threat is Lucas Hatton? His training videos have been fantastic.
Lucas is looking very, very good. I'm genuine interest to see how he can do. And yeah, he's definitely a podium threat.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he's looking great. If he can bring it all together on the day, like we haven't seen Lucas do a competition like this with so many events up against this caliber of athlete and lineup. And such a big lineup as well.
But so his training videos look amazing.
It looks really good. Yeah.
Excited to see how he does.
Yeah. Paddy is wondering if Brian will let him near the big stones whilst out at the Shore Classic. Maybe after the competition, Paddy.
Yes. Paddy likes lifting a big stone.
Photon John, thank you so much for the super chat. What a year for strongman so far. Do you see anyone coming in to upset the whole Tom and Mitch dynamic in the near future? Thor, maybe.
Thor could, definitely. If Thor can get back to his best, he is a genuine monster. I believe Thor in 2018 is the best strongman we've ever seen. I would say better than Mitch and Tom. for that year. Now, can he get back to that shape? And how much better can Tom and Mitch get? Because they're still improving.
Yeah.
So
and it was
there's
6
lots
years
of
ago.
there's lots of variables to that kind of statement. But Thor is an incredible strongman. There are other great strongmen coming through as well. We keep seeing new names come into the sport. They have to have the ability to keep progressing. There's young guys that we haven't even heard of that are, getting into the sport that are constantly improving. So, and also, when people are good, it raises the whole level. Everyone else has to kind of improve and catch up. Right now, I'd say Tom and Mitch are the best. There's other guys that can get in there that maybe were really good that have kind of slipped back a little bit.
Yeah.
The likes of Kiliashkovsky. He's been a bit unlucky with injuries and stuff. Martins, can he get back to his best?
Alexa.
Novikov, Evan is right up there. The new guys like Tristan and Matt Ragg are kind of, knocking on the door. Lucas Hatton, there's so many great athletes. Trey has obviously had that injury and slipped down. Can he get back into contention and win major comps? There's so many good athletes out there, but one little thing can change the dynamic so quickly.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were talking about Alexei Novikov winning everything.
Every single competition.
And then suddenly he's
we're just not.
7th, 8th. It changes very, very quickly in the sport. So just staying at that level is difficult sometimes.
Yeah, it's an achievement in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ricky, bless you. Thank you so much for the very generous super chat.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna
have to look for this one.
Buy some recovery stuff with that. Don't know what yet.
Very nice.
Very kind of you. Thank you so much, Ricky. Very generous. This comment from Melvin. LOL. Hathal's first 300 kilo deadlift is the absolute worst lift I've ever actually seen finished. It was something else.
Yeah, I've done some terrible lifts before.
Yeah.
Terrible. But you kind of take pride in improving it in the future and looking back and thinking, man, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But also you've got to admire effort. So I never kind of knock someone for putting effort in. There are times I've had athletes message me their training videos and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh my god, my back's hurting just watching it. And you gently sort of, like one of my newer athletes, he just missed a 300 kilo deadlift, and he's like, oh, I'll get that like in a few weeks. I'm like, no, we're going to be stripping right back and building up slowly so that when you do go for it next time, it's going to be great. But some people will get that number in their head and they want to do it every week. And that's when you're going to go backwards. It's fine having that one attempt, but the athlete I'm talking about now has to step back, and we're going to build up, and probably I won't let him go for 300 in the next 3 to 5 months. But when he goes for it, he's going to smash it.
Yeah. Malcolm, I feel like you may be taking Rauno much too seriously. I'm not taking him too seriously. He's being serious. He's like,
Rauno's got like a tough love kind of
intricate and detailed feedback on every single video.
He wants Liz to do well.
Yes.
And he cares, but sometimes he just needs to chill.
Yeah, Rauno has no chill. But thankfully, you're not friends with Rauno if you're thin-skinned, are you? No. It's fine. Water off a duck's back. I know how to take it.
And he means well. He does genuinely mean well.
Yeah, he does. Rich, I've done a Liz and entered a competition I am not ready for. A few weights at home and never been to an actual gym. Bits of rope and some DB handles to make farmers handles. Any tips on how to train farmers?
Any tips on how to train farmers? Get some farmers and train them.
Well, he hasn't got farmers, does he?
Then dumbbells in the gym. Single arm barbell holds, good for developing grip strength and wrist control. But deadlifts are going to help you farmers. Anything where you're carrying weights can be useful. First gym I ever trained at, I didn't have any strongman equipment, so I used to just grab the 50 kilo dumbbells because that's the heaviest we had in that gym, and I'd run around the gym with them. It wasn't ideal, but it just gets you used to holding implements and moving. Obviously, if you get the opportunity to go and train at a gym that has them, then it's even better. But I wouldn't stress too much. I'd focus on getting your legs strong, your back, and your hands strong.
Liz, what events do you have in your camp? What are you most and least excited for? I've got to do a 90 kilo axle squat for reps, 120 kilo deadlift for reps, a 140 kilo yoke, a 55 kilo sandbag for max distance.
She's killed that bull.
I know. And a 45 kilo Viking press. Not really looking forward to any of it, if I'm honest. Actually, the sandbag, I picked it up and I did 80 meters with it, which probably means the other women are going to do like 200 maybe. But
I think they might up the weight.
I was going to say that probably feels like the most manageable. I'm quite looking forward to the yoke. I picked up comp weight in training this week. I've never been under a yoke before, and like it went up all right. Not looking forward to the squat, I think.
You squatted 70 kilos last week.
Yeah, I just don't like it. Don't like any of it. I'm not looking forward to the deadlift. It's going to be scrutinized. Oh, especially if I have a deadlift session with Rauno. Oh, God, help us all. Never mind.
Let me know how training went, Alex.
Where are we? Try and catch up a little bit. Not that I've ever jerked anything. Nick's t-shirt idea. Great job, Liz.
Paddy's 20 minutes from Oxford.
There you go. Yes, we did see, unfortunately, Flemming Rasmussen passed away.
Yeah, really sad. Flemming was an amazing strongman, came second at World's Strongest Man in 1997. Yeah, he was a beast. Yeah, really good.
5 international competitions. He was World's Strongest Viking, and you got to know him a bit better on
I did a Talking Strongman with him. If anyone hasn't seen that, please go and check it out. But yeah, we put a post up about Flemming
on your Instagram. Yeah, very sad. I don't know what they're talking about. The gym still smells from Alex's last visit. Do you think this year's Shaw Classic will be a harder show than the Arnold's? I mean, on paper, yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be a tough comp. There's no doubt about that. I mean, Brian's put together a nasty set of events. I think Brian forgets that he's as strong as he is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he's sort of testing things, going, "Oh, this weight will be fine." And me and Terry were talking about this the other day. We were like,
"Jesus Christ!"
I think half the field are going to fail this event. Brian's a very strong man.
Yeah, he is still. God, is that the dog I can smell?
It's not
Absolutely
me.
Stinks. Anthony, thank you for the super chat. Hey guys, been a while. I wanted to let you know I got 8th place at US Strongman Nationals a few weeks back, Masters 50 plus heavyweight. Coming to the US. Well done, Anthony.
Well done, Anthony. And yes, we are. We've got a few trips to the US.
We've got 2 more booked for the US. So we're going to Vegas for the Giants Live there, and we are going to the Colorado, the Strongest Man on Earth, first time there. So very excited. Yes. But congratulations, well done.
Potential holiday in America next year as well.
Not potential, definite.
Okay, definite. It's not booked though. So.
Wow, it's as good as Lozzie. Okay. Ozzy, thank you for the super chat. Who do you think will be on the podium at Strongest Man on Earth?
Hard to. I still want to see training leading up to it before I do like my last official prediction. But right now,
just names.
I think Thor has a very good chance of being on the podium. I think Mitch Hooper has a great chance. I think Tom has a good chance. I think, Matt Ragg, Lucas Hatton. There's so many good names doing it. I was interested watching Trey's video with Brian, sorry. His goal is just to come top 10.
Yeah.
Because obviously as a 2-time champion, you kind of want to see him back to his best, but he clearly mustn't feel he's back to his best yet.
No, he can't do. No.
So that's a shame. But I think I'll be paying close attention to people's training as we get closer and closer. The next few weeks will probably be the last probably say the next 2 weeks will be the last real heavy sessions that athletes do leading up to it. I'm also looking forward to the Shaw Classic Open as well, and the women's comp, because there's some great athletes doing
huge
those.
Lineups as
huge
well.
Lineups.
How are we going to get through it all?
I know, it's going to be insane.
It's going to be crazy.
There's lots going on there, so it's going to be an amazing show. But yeah, I think personally, it's going to be a battle between Thor and Mitch, and I think Tom could be thrown into there as well. Tom could just switch on like that, and suddenly he's back in the mix. He looked a little bit off Not and don't take this the wrong way. Tom looked great on the weekend, you know, especially compared to what Tom used to be like, because he didn't always turn up in good shape for comps. Now you can see he's in shape.
He's always in good shape.
Worlds, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's just kind of brought it down a level, and for many reasons why. You know, the guy's one world's strongest man. You're so in demand. There's things that you're going to be doing. Naturally, there's a bit of a come down after a huge comp like that, and you kind of want some time off. But I think he's going to be a threat. I just think Mitch and Thor look a bit more hungry at the moment.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I think in Tom's case, it's how much does he want it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a brutal competition for him. The main goal is still world's strongest man, but we do know that he wants to add other big international.
What's he now? Is he on like an 8 or 9 podium streak?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So and like you said, he used to be a bit more up and down, but we haven't seen that
consistent.
Since, I think 2022. I don't think he's been off a podium
since. I think we could see some surprises. We could see some amazing performances there. We could get injuries. You know, there's so many things that can happen.
Yeah, lots can happen.
There's a lot of good athletes doing it.
There is. Right. I think now would be a really good time to wrap up, Lozzie, because I've survived a full hour. And
you've done well. You've done very, very well.
I took some painkillers right before we started. I'm gonna, as soon as it's off, I'm gonna go and cry on Loz's shoulder.
Right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on a Monday night. It's a little bit different to normal, but hope you enjoyed it. Have an amazing week. Like we said, we are off to Estonia on Thursday, so we'll bring you lots of action from there. Liz training, me and Rauner may be training. Got the Strongman Champions League on the weekend. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. No, she's not coming. Take it easy, guys.
Pick her up right now anyway. Come on, you naughty pup.